Alright, welcome back everyone, it's Sierra Nova here with Anime and Beyond, and today we're going to be doing a Tokyo Revengers anime review. Alright, so first things first, Tokyo Revengers is supposedly based off of Erased. Now if you haven't heard of Erased, I do recommend checking it out. It has a mix of time travel and murder mystery, and in a nutshell it deals with a 29-year-old man experiencing a weird occurrence that he dubs as revival, and he's continuously brought back to the past to prevent a tragic life-altering incident. And while I would love to give complete credit to Erased, Dragon Ball Z is actually the anime that made me realize that unlike animes where the time is manipulated to correct things. If you remember, there was a bit with Future Trunks in Dragon Ball Z where his timeline was destroyed and he sought out to make things right. I guess I just really liked it because if I could go back in time to fix or change certain things, I most definitely would. Especially if I can get away with it and not worry about messing up the timeline like Barry Allen. Anyway, along with the time aspect, Tokyo Revengers has a high school gang feel to it, and that's another thing that I really enjoyed about this anime. I will admit that there were a few things that kind of bothered me along the way though. Number 1, Takemichi doesn't really know how to fight despite being in a gang, which is pretty ironic, and secondly, I didn't like that bit with Kazutora blaming Mikey and not taking accountability. I actually made a TikTok about this segment, and I think a lot of people came to Kazutora's defense, saying that it was due to trauma. But then Kazutora turned around again and killed someone else like a few episodes later. For me personally, I don't find murder acceptable, but I am capable of understanding that there are outside factors like self-defense and whatnot. But in this case, Kazutora did not do this in self-defense. Actually, he didn't do it in either case. Now, I will admit that this started off as honorable as it could get, at least for gangs and teenagers. I mean, considering that they were going to rob a shop to get Mikey a new bike at least. So at first, Kazutora's whole reasoning for doing this wasn't too bad. However, things kind of went downhill real quick. It turns out that the shop that they broke into belonged to Mikey's older brother. So Mikey's older brother catches them and Baji freezes up because he realizes who they're robbing. But this is the moment I started getting tense because you can literally see Kazutora run up from behind with some sort of pliers thingy, and the rest is history. And while we're on this subject, I'd like to point out that Kazutora didn't even seem bothered by what he did until he realized that it was Mikey's brother. And that's probably a problem in itself. Not gonna lie, it's already kinda crazy to steal in the first place, but then to come to find out that you're stealing from someone your gang leader is related to is a massive L. So earlier I know I brought up Takemichi not really knowing how to fight, so let's talk a little bit more about our MC. He's known for crying so much that he's actually referred to as a crybaby hero. Under usual cases, I do not like MCs that cry all the time, but I think it's fair to give him a pass. Like, all he really wants to do is protect his loved ones from dying and secure a future where everyone is alive and everyone wins. And that's basically what the show is about in a nutshell. It's pretty much a heartbreaking and emotional process if you actually think about it. I mean, we've seen Hinata die like twice, I think, and we've seen Akun literally off himself once. So while I can understand it if it bothers a lot of people, I think crying to this degree is acceptable with what he has going on. Takemichi eventually makes up his mind to try and infiltrate the Tokyo Manji gang and try to fix things from within by rising to the top. Along the way we meet people like Draken and Mikey, who are literal monsters, and I haven't seen Mikey take an L yet. Like, Mikey isn't necessarily on Sanji's or Boa's level, but he definitely has a strong kick game.
なめてんのかマイキー。そんなのてめえの決めることじゃねえだろうが。ほら、終わった。
Last but not least, let's talk about the crazy cliffhanger that season 1 ended on. So because Takemichi has earned everyone's respect, he eventually became the captain of the 1st Division. This was something I was surprised with because Mikey threatened to kill him if he failed to bring Baji back. However, I do understand it the more I think about it because Takemichi has done a lot for the Tokyo Manji gang, so it was eventually to be expected. At this point, Takemichi goes back home via his little handshake with Hinata's brother. And y'all, as soon as we see this scene and we see that everything's going well, I just knew something wasn't right. Things were going a little too well. Especially since Takemichi was all dripped up and everything, and even a lady that usually gives him sass at the store is actually respectful for once. If I haven't been already, here's the part where I start messing up the names. Anyway, all we know is while Takemichi is still trying to figure things out and figure out what's going on in this environment that he's been brought back to, Hanma shows up saying that there's a Judas among them, and then Kisaki shows up and wants to speak to Takemichi and our boy here. Kisaki gives me weird evil vibes, and I was thrown off when he started acting nice and apologizing for Bloody Halloween. Like, that threw me completely off guard, and I almost fell for it until I saw him pouring up those drinks, and I knew something was about to go down. And if y'all don't know, don't let anyone pour a drink for you or hand you a drink that you didn't watch them open. They are definitely out to get you, just like Kisaki was, and these two paid the price. Y'all, when I tell y'all that the pacing and everything was golden and everything was built for this moment, it was all there. I didn't imagine that it would come to this, and I was pretty sure that the season was going to end on a cliffhanger. I just didn't know how. And boy, when I tell you that I jumped out my seat, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, how's Takemichi going to bounce back from this? Like, what is he going to do and how is he going to get out of this? And guys, I don't know if you noticed or not, but Takemichi doesn't even have the detective's number in his phone anymore. So how is he going to get back to fix things? There's just so many questions, and I am looking forward to season 2. Honestly, I'm going to try my best not to read the manga, but that's going to be so hard for me to do. I usually do not read it unless I'm sure I can wait, but I'd be lying to myself if I told myself that I'd be able to wait. Let me know what you guys think of Tokyo Revengers overall. How'd you feel about the anime? Any dislikes or things that you're looking forward to, please just let me know in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Sierra Nova is out.